Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel, your warmest corner in the army world where we dive deep into the moments, glances, and unspoken stories between Jimin and Jungkook or Jikook, the pair that continues to captivate millions of hearts around the world. Lately, the fandom has been buzzing non-stop after new clips surfaced from behind-the-scenes footage, fan videos, and even recent live streams that seem to reveal something fascinating. Something subtle but deeply familiar to those who have followed Jimin and Jungkook for years. It's the way they communicate not through words, but through what fans are calling the Jikook secret language. For years, armies have known that these two share a bond that goes far beyond stage chemistry. Their connection feels instinctive, wordless, and sometimes so synchronized it seems like they exist in their own world. And now, the discovery of what appears to be a new set of hand signals gestures exchanged quietly, almost invisibly during events and live shows, has sent fans into detective mode once again. What are they saying to each other without speaking? What's hidden behind those tiny movements that only they seem to understand? Let's take a moment to go back to remember how all of this started. From the early BTS days, Jimin and Jungkook already had a silent way of communicating. During interviews, when one spoke, the other often watched quietly, eyes full of pride and warmth. During performances, a light touch on the shoulder or a brief meeting of eyes was enough to say everything that words couldn't. But recently, things have evolved. Their communication has become more coded, more deliberate, almost like a language built just for two. In one of the latest fan-taken videos from a rehearsal clip, armies noticed something intriguing. Jimin subtly raised his hand and tapped his index finger twice against his thumb while looking directly at Jungkook. Within seconds, Jungkook smiled that shy, knowing smile he only reserves for certain moments, and responded with what seemed like a mirrored movement of his own. To anyone else, it would look like nothing. But to Jikook fans who have followed their every nuance for nearly a decade, it felt like witnessing a quiet conversation spoken without a single word. This new hand signal theory first gained traction after fans began compiling videos across different events, from concerts, variety shows, even casual behind-the-scenes footage. Each time, the gestures seemed consistent, yet subtle. It was never performed openly, but rather hidden in plain sight. Some believe it's their way of checking in on each other, saying, "I'm here," or "You're doing great." Others think it might be more personal, a sign of affection or reassurance shared in moments where words can't reach. What makes this even more fascinating is how naturally it fits with who they are. Jimin, with his empathetic and nurturing nature, often reads emotions without needing anyone to speak. Jungkook, on the other hand, has always expressed himself through small actions rather than big declarations. When those two energies meet, it creates something deeply intimate, a bond that doesn't always need translation. Let's talk about one particular moment that made armies go wild. During a recent award show, as the members were walking off stage, cameras caught Jungkook briefly brushing his fingers across Jimin's wrist in a swift, almost coded gesture. Jimin immediately responded with a half smile, then lifted his hand to adjust his earpiece, but in doing so, his fingers subtly mimicked Jungkook's motion. Fans replayed that moment over and over, realizing it wasn't just coincidence. It felt intentional, almost like a prearranged code. And when you think about it, it makes sense. After years of living under the brightest spotlight, maybe Jikook found a quiet way to communicate where no one else can interfere. A gesture that says, "I see you," or "I understand," even in the middle of a chaotic stage, surrounded by flashing lights and roaring fans. Some longtime Jikook observers have pointed out how their form of silent communication has always been their safe space. In the early years, it was often eye contact or shared laughter. Now it has evolved into subtler movements that feel like a private world built between them. One fan described it perfectly on Twitter: "Jimin and Jungkook don't need words. They talk in glances, in touch, in the language of understanding." Another viral post highlighted how their energy often syncs unconsciously. When Jimin moves, Jungkook follows, or vice versa. There's even a compilation video showing how they often mirror each other's posture during interviews or casual lives. Whether they're leaning on the same side, crossing their arms, or tapping their fingers in rhythm, it's as if they've built a quiet harmony that moves beyond logic.
안녕하세요. 따뜻하네요. 해주세요, 빨리.
But this latest discovery of new hand gestures feels different, deliberate, new, yet deeply familiar. Fans speculate that it might have developed while filming Are You Sure 2 in Switzerland. During that show, their bond felt even more visible, gentle, calm, and intimate in ways that left ARMYs speechless. The way Jungkook would glance at Jimin across the snow, the way they'd quietly laugh over coffee without saying much, and those long silences that somehow said everything. In one of the final scenes, when they stood together overlooking the Swiss mountains, Jimin adjusted his scarf and subtly tapped his hand twice. The same gesture that fans have now seen repeated in other clips. Jungkook noticed instantly, and his smile widened. Could that have been the birth of this new hand language? A code born in quiet moments, now carried with them everywhere they go? What's even more emotional is that this silent communication mirrors how they've both grown, not just as artists, but as individuals. In their early 20s, everything between them was loud, playful, full of teasing and laughter. But now their bond has matured. It's calmer, deeper, quieter, built on years of trust and understanding. You can see it in how they move around each other now, comfortable, steady, always in sync. And maybe that's what makes their connection so powerful. In an industry where everything is constantly watched, analyzed, and broadcast, Jimin and Jungkook have found a way to keep something truly theirs. A small piece of privacy that no camera can fully decode. Even if fans can sense it, only they know what those gestures truly mean. It's a language of love and loyalty built over time, one that only they can speak fluently. Some ARMYs say this reminds them of how close friends or soulmates develop micro-communication, small habits, glances, or touches that carry deep meaning because of shared experiences. And when it comes to Jikook, there's nearly a decade of history behind every look, every laugh, every quiet moment. From late-night practice rooms to endless tours, from emotional award speeches to filming together across continents, they've lived side by side through everything. So, when Jimin lifts his hand in a way that looks ordinary, and Jungkook smiles as if he just heard a secret, maybe it's because he did. And that's what makes watching them so captivating. Jikook isn't just about what they show. It's also about what they don't. It's about the spaces between their words, the gestures that go unnoticed by most, but mean everything to those who truly see them. In the end, decoding their secret language might not be about figuring out an exact translation. Maybe it's about understanding that love, in its truest form, doesn't always need words. Sometimes it's a glance, a soft laugh, a small movement of the hand that says, "I'm right here." As ARMYs continue to analyze every detail, one thing remains certain. Whether or not we ever fully understand their signals, the connection between Jimin and Jungkook remains one of the most beautiful, quietly powerful dynamics in BTS history. And perhaps that's the real magic. That even after all these years, Jikook still finds new ways to surprise us, not with grand gestures or big statements, but with the smallest details that speak volumes. So the next time you watch a performance, a vlog, or even a fleeting moment caught on a fan camera, look closely. You might just catch a glimpse of that hidden world, the world where Jimin and Jungkook's eyes meet. Their hands move in quiet rhythm, and everything unsaid becomes perfectly understood. Because in that silent exchange, you'll realize that this isn't just a story about friendship or even love. It's about two souls who, somehow, found each other in the middle of fame and chaos and built a secret language to keep their bond alive, no matter how loud the world gets. And maybe that's why we'll always keep watching, decoding, and falling in love with Jikook all over again. Thank you for watching and for sharing the same feelings here with us on Jikook Diaries, the place where every glance, every smile, and every tiny secret between them feels alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next time we dive into another chapter of their story, two souls who understand each other without needing to speak. See you in the next video, ARMY. And as always, keep believing in what your heart feels. Because sometimes, true love doesn't need to be explained, it just needs to be felt.